Have you noticed that no matter how violent the winds get, something inside you refuses to fall, as if the fabric of reality leans a few degrees in your favor at the very last second? That is not chance. Some spirits arrive carrying a rare seal, not supremacy, not superiority, an anointed kind of safeguarding that honors purpose. If you are one of these souls, you were never designed to shatter. You were designed to rise. Stay with me until the end, because what unfolds here may name a truth you've sensed your whole life, yet could never quite explain. This is more than astrology. This is a message to the marrow, a conversation with the part of you that remembers some signs are not handed easy roads. They're entrusted with an ancient frequency so refined that the cosmos itself forms a quiet perimeter around them. This isn't about ego. It's about alignment. It's about a protection that does not erase pain, but escorts you through it toward destiny. These signs do not skip the trials. They are simply never consumed by them. They endure, transmute, and become light for others. Imagine a soul arriving on Earth fully aware of the storms ahead, heartbreaks, betrayals, losses, and saying, "I accept the journey, but let my light be kept." That soul becomes you. If you felt that amid chaos you keep rising, if doors appear where there should be only walls, if your heart whispers truths no one else can hear, you may belong to this circle of 5. They are not immune to pain, but they move with an inner compass so old and so attuned that even in silence they are guided. The world may try to drag them under. Still they're held, watched, quietly guarded. Because divine protection rarely announces itself. It does not glitter or shout. It moves like law, subtle, exact, and unbreakable. Before we name them, breathe with every word and notice what stirs behind your ribs. Some of what follows won't feel like learning. It will feel like remembering. If something inside you says, "This is me," tell the field you're awake. In the comments, write your date of birth and your zodiac sign as if pinning a star back into the sky, and let that simple act be your declaration. I remember who I am. And if the rhythm of these truths resonates, subscribe to Signs and Secrets now, so our next messages find you right when you need them most. Your path is easier to follow when the beacons arrive on time. There is an invisible thread crossing time, space, and constellations, anchoring your spirit to a design older than your name. We talk in astrology of elements, fire, earth, air, water, and of modalities, cardinal, fixed, mutable. But beyond personality, a handful of signs carry something different. Not charm, not brute strength, but a field of favor. Those born under these signatures spend years asking, "Why me? Why do I survive what others can't? Why do I feel so deeply and still move forward?" The answer is simple and immense. You were not made for ordinary roads. You were woven from light and memory, and you arrived with a vow. To honor that vow, the universe promised one thing: you may be bent, but you won't be broken. The 5 we're about to unveil carry scars. Many wear them like fine cracks in ancient porcelain, but it's through the fracture that the gold shows. Think of your worst nights becoming thresholds. Think of endings that were really entrances in disguise. That's not random. That's intervention. That's your signature of protection in motion. As we step into each archetype, listen as though the stars are pronouncing your true name. Zodiac. Sign 1. Pisces, the Veil Walker. Pisces doesn't merely sense energy. Pisces swims in it. With one foot in the visible and the other surrendered to the deep current of the unseen, they live as a bridge. Neptune rules them. Dreams, intuition, the thinnest places between worlds. And because of that, Pisces breathes prayer the way others breathe air. Their protection isn't a shield strapped to the arm. It's the river carrying them forward. Early life often feels like fog, overwhelm, sensitivity, solitude. Not because they're weak, but because their inner music plays on a frequency few can hear. What society calls too soft, the cosmos calls holy. Softness is not fragility. In Pisces, it is an instrument of healing. These are old travelers. They've walked the map of sorrow across lifetimes and brought medicine in return. The divine steps close to the Pisces heart for a simple reason. They keep loving even when love costs them. Even after betrayal, abandonment, or heartbreak, they never learn to harden. And so help arrives in whispers. Dreams nudge them. Intuition rings like a bell only they can hear. In alignment, Pisces turns rooms into sanctuaries. In despair, they are never abandoned because their vow is to lift others, and for that, grace lifts them. If you are Pisces and the world feels too much, remember, you are not meant to turn to stone. You are meant to become water, cleansing, adapting, rising. The universe protects the keeper of dreams because through Pisces, divinity speaks softly to everyone else. Midway through this journey, if these words are bringing light to your day, please tap like in support. It tells the algorithm to carry this message to the ones who need it most. Zodiac, sign 2. Scorpio, the phoenix-hearted. Here is fire hidden inside water. Scorpio is the one many misunderstand, sometimes fear, but high currents always watch over them. They aren't here for the lukewarm story. Pluto rules them. Transformation, underworld truth, rebirth, and their symbol isn't ornamental. It's sacred. Over and over, Scorpio descends into ash and returns winged. Their protection isn't the absence of a wound. It's the alchemy that ensures every blade becomes a lesson. Across lifetimes, Scorpio has earned their guardians. They didn't come seeking comfort. They came for sovereignty, not over others, but over their own shadows. They hold the quiet keys to the human underworld, the places we hide, the truths we bury. They do not run from the dark. They illuminate it from within. The universe holds their hand, not because they're fragile, but because their mission is precise. Their magnetism can heal or destroy, and spirit will not let their power be wasted. That is why after betrayal, after losses that feel like winter without end, a Scorpio can still walk with an unshakable stillness. Protection doesn't keep the blow from landing. It keeps the soul from splintering. If your heart is nodding in recognition, breathe it in. You are being rebuilt into someone who cannot be undone. Support Signs and Secrets. Become a channel member for exclusive videos and early access. Zodiac sign 3, Capricorn, the Mountain's Oath. At first glance, Capricorn reads as reserved, contained, perhaps distant. But beneath the quiet is a cathedral carved by time. Saturn governs them. The teacher, the keeper of clocks, the law of cause and consequence. Because of that lineage, Capricorn is given a rarer form of protection, endurance. Not a parachute, but a ribcage of granite. While some wait for rescue, Capricorn builds a staircase no one else can see, rung by patient rung. They often walk alone, but never unguided. Cosmic care arrives to Capricorn as a timetable, delay as refinement, challenge as scaffolding, detours as design. Their path isn't quick, it's fortified. Each setback chisels away what is not essential. Each disappointment becomes foundation. By the time Capricorn reaches their summit, they aren't merely standing tall. They have become the summit, living proof that resilience is a sacrament. Do you sometimes feel the world quietly expects more from you? It does, not as punishment but as acknowledgement. You were engineered to hold more, to construct something that outlasts you. That is why the divine protects you, not with padding, but with structure. Not with detours from responsibility, but with alignment to the work your soul came to do. Zodiac sign 4, Cancer, the moon's heart. Enter the ocean of memory. Cancer is ruled by Luna herself. Tides, intuition, the language of feeling, and because of that, they often mistake their sacred sensitivity for a flaw. It is not weakness. It is holy instrumentation. Cancer remembers love in a world that keeps forgetting. They shield, they nurture, they wage wars of tenderness. They don't fight with force, but with presence. And precisely because they carry so much emotional gravity, the universe wraps them in a gentle perimeter. Their intuition is more than keen. It is consecrated. Cancer can feel truth before it finds words. They sense a shift before it announces itself. They read rooms, silences, micro-expressions, and they know the next right thing. For Cancer, protection often arrives as timing. The sudden urge to stay home, the text not sent, the dream that warns or blesses. They are beloved by the cosmos because they embody what keeps the world alive. Concern, devotion, the willingness to keep choosing love when cynicism looks easier. Yes, they give too much and ache when it isn't returned. But that ache is proof of assignment. They volunteered to carry the memory of home. That is why they are watched over. Not because they asked, but because they chose love over bitterness again and again. If your inner waters are moving as you hear this, add your birth date and zodiac sign in the comments so we can send a prayer along your timeline and place your star on our map. And if this is adding clarity to your path, consider tapping like right now so this message keeps reaching the right eyes at the right hour. Your small act has a big ripple in this community. Zodiac sign 5, Sagittarius, the horizon keeper. Here comes the wild pilgrim, Jupiter at their back. Blessings, expansion, the big picture wisdom that laughs at small cages. Sagittarius was never meant to hold still. Their soul is wind-marked and sky-stitched. Their joy a flare the dark cannot swallow. They don't require constant rescue because they're guided in motion. Their protection is the net that appears in midair, the corridor of grace that opens exactly when they leap. Their optimism isn't naivete, it's devotion to meaning. Many Sagittarians know turmoil, but they refuse tenancy in it. Their nature is to keep moving, geographically, mentally, spiritually. They rise through truth, they widen through pain. And because they insist on the higher road, the universe meets them in the open. Jupiter doesn't hand them luck like confetti, it hands them sight. They see farther than most. They believe when others can't. Their laughter is pedagogy. It teaches the body that joy is a form of endurance. The divine protects them because they carry a torch, hope. In the darkest hallway, Sagittarius arrives carrying dawn in both hands. Now pause, not in the listening, but in the breath. Perhaps your sign was called. Perhaps it wasn't. The deeper truth remains: protection is not exclusive. The 5, Pisces, Scorpio, Capricorn, Cancer, Sagittarius, were stamped with a particular seal because their missions are unusually intense. Their pain is often invisible, their gifts unadvertised, their lessons demanding. So the universe stays close, but the river of grace moves wherever purpose does. Answer your calling with honesty and courage, and favor follows like a shadow that glows. Maybe you're Aries, blaze-tongued, rebuilding bridges after you've burned the false ones, carving new roads through rock. Perhaps you're Taurus, the heartbeat that steadies the room when everything tilts. Maybe you are Leo, the one who walks into a dim space and suddenly everyone can see again. Virgo, blessing every detail until it becomes medicine. Libra, balancing a world in love with extremes. Aquarius, charting futures others can't even name yet. Gemini, carrying many voices and one shining center that wants truth. The form changes, the assignment remains. Bring your essence, and protection finds you there. Divine care wears many faces. Sometimes it feels like grace arriving ahead of the blow. Sometimes it is delay, which later reveals itself as redirection. Sometimes it's a person sent at the exact minute your strength went missing. Sometimes it is a season of quiet, so you can hear your own soul again. Ask yourself, what if your knees met the floor, not to be crushed, but to be repositioned? What if shut doors were altars, asking for reverence before you step through the right one? What if you were never lost, only learning how to remember? Every soul emits a frequency, and every sign is an instrument in a vast symphony. When your actions align with your essence, when your choices honor truth, courage, reverence, protection doesn't merely visit, it abides. To you who are still here, understand, you didn't arrive by accident. Your spirit called this message in. You are stirring awake, and awakening changes what is allowed to reach you. You may have doubted your value. You may have believed you were overlooked. You may have wondered why, despite everything, you're still standing. Now you know. You are being held. You are being watched over. You are being prepared, not for smallness, but for a life that means something. If this transmission feels like a mirror, subscribe to Signs and Secrets so we can keep traveling together. Guidance lands more easily when you let it find you. And from the heart, if this video is serving you, Please like it. It helps this sanctuary reach the souls who think no one is speaking to them tonight. Let's return quickly and deeply to the 5 so you can recognize the signatures when they rise in your life or in those you love. Pisces' dream speech, arriving as hunches too accurate to ignore. Scorpio's furnace, turning grief into fuel and scars into maps. Capricorn's cathedral, each choice a stone placed in a structure that cannot be stolen. Cancer's tide, teaching you to respect your inner weather instead of apologizing for it. Sagittarius's horizon, the lesson that faith is a muscle you build by moving. There will be storms. There must be. Without them, the seed never splits and the sky never clears. But storms don't own you. The eternal part of you, older than your name, older than your chart, refuses to yield to what is temporary. Your sign is a language your soul uses to remember. Use it, walk with it, and when the days go dark again, as they do for all of us, return to these words and let them tune your chest to its original pitch. You are more than a label, more than your history, more than your fear. You are a vibration, learning how to speak through a human life. When the world gets loud, keep the interior flame untouched. The divine doesn't only guard temples raised from stone. It guards the living temples we carry inside our ribs. That is you. That is your home. That is the reason you feel unbroken in places that should have come apart. If this message found you at the right moment, anchor it with a simple ritual. In the comments, write your date of birth and your zodiac sign so the community can witness you and hold a light for your path. Then breathe and decide, today I remember. Today I walk as if the universe has already said yes. And because you made it this far, a gentle reminder. If these words brought solace or strength, please like this video so its medicine reaches others who are standing at the threshold of giving up. Your click is a candle in someone else's night. Before we close, gather the teachings into your body. Protection is not an insurance policy against pain. It is the guarantee that pain will become passage. The 5 bear specific seals, but the current moves toward anyone willing to live in truth. When you align with purpose, help arrives dressed as timing, as people, as doors, as silence. Keep going. Keep choosing. Keep remembering. If you want this kind of guidance to keep arriving exactly when you need it, subscribe to Signs and Secrets and stay close to this circle. There are messages waiting to meet you at your next mile. And for those who feel called to deepen with us, support Signs and Secrets, become a channel member for exclusive videos and early access. Finally, to the tender, fierce, luminous soul listening right now, you are loved, you are guided, and you are already enough. If you want to hear everything the universe has to say to you, watch these other videos on our channel.